Hello, good morning, everyone. This is just a quick one, quick information just before you start enjoying the webinar. I'd like to bring to your notice for those who lives in Nigeria, Lagos to be precise, about our Lagos Tech Conference coming up on the 6th of April. So if you are looking to transition, if you are looking for, networking, linking up with the like-minded people, this is your opportunity to do so. So the Lagos Tech Summit is happening on the 6th of April in Lagos. You can go on the website at www.techpinnacleevents.co.uk and you can purchase your ticket from there. We have three different categories of tickets. You can get 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. They all have, different benefits attached to them. Some of the highlight of the day will be, for those who purchase the 10,000 or the 15,000 tickets, you have, the opportunity to walk away on that day with a fully funded training with Learn with Pride that was like £5,000. So what are you waiting for? This is your chance. Go on the website and read more about the event. See you on the 6th of April. Thank you for listening to me. I'm back to the webinar. Thanks.
So, yeah, so let's go straight to today's business, which is navigating the future of work, building employability in the digital age. As we all know, I'm very sure all our participants here are into one thing or the other in tech. And that's why we are here to learn from people that are already paving way in tech space to see how we can also put what they say into practice to get the results. So just try to pay attention. And if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat to see questions I could ask the panelists, depending on which panelist is best fit for that question to give accurate answer to them. Okay, so I'll go ahead with Mayowa. So can you share your journey of adapting to digital age in your career path, particularly in relation to enhancing your employability? Maybe you could just share relating to how this digital age, how you were able to start and how you got your first job.
Um, okay, I'll just try to summarize it, not to bore everybody. So I I started software testing. I was first a manual software tester. I started as a trainee in a company. I did manual testing for a few years, and then of course, then automation started to become a thing. And in order to scale up or level up, I knew that I needed to learn automation. And then at the time when I was looking to learn, there were very few resources online. Not few resources, but there's so many things online, you don't know the right one to pick. And there were very few people handling or taking automation training. So I had to enroll for one, which I'm sure we're going to probably talk on later on. And then, of course, there's Selenium, Appium, the rest of them were coming up at that time. So I knew that if I wanted to scale, I needed to learn one of all those tools. And that was what I did, which then, of course, opened up opportunities for me, opened up job opportunities for me, especially when I'd, put it on my CV, applied to different jobs and, updated my online profiles and online presence to show those skills and those tools that I've learned. So yeah, that's in a brief summary, that's how I've been able to scale up and to make myself employable in this recent digital age.
Thank you so much for clearing that out. Um, for I think I'll just go ahead with the next question with you before moving down to Abayomi. So could you highlight a significant challenge you faced while you transition into the digital era of work and how you overcame it?
Yeah, I would say getting the right resource in upscaling in automation. So I had enrolled in several, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Udemy. I've enrolled on Udemy courses, test automation university, but none of them seem to have broken it down properly for me to understand it. Not there was a lot of information overload, so to speak. So they're just teaching you general things, different things, not enough for me to be able to say, oh, I'm getting on a job and I'm hitting the ground running, especially, when you are looking to upskill, not like you're coming in as a fresher and stuff like that. So it was a struggle. Like I remember also enrolling in with some trainers at quote and unquote, and I didn't get value for my money right until when I then, of course, stumbled on Learn with Pride. I was scrolling through Instagram and that's how I found it. And then I think that the challenge was finding the right place because I knew that was what I wanted to do. And then somehow, God willingly, I found a way to upskill it. And then I did my practical training on automation. And in, I think after my training in 3 months, thereabouts, I was, or yeah, 3 months thereabout. Yeah, I was able to land my first automation role, of course. And yeah, and the rest is history. But if
Okay,
you have more
learning.
questions, I'll go.
Yeah. Learning. You said after 3 months of learning, that was when you got your
Yeah, so after 3 months
role.
of my training,
Okay.
were on automation. And that was when, of course, I started to
Did you?
apply.
Okay, that was what I wanted to get. Like
Of
maybe
course,
it was a
yeah, of course, I started to, first things first. So after learning, of course, I repackaged my brand. I updated my CV because, of course, it's your CV that is going to get your foot into the door. It's your CV that is going to make sure people are ready to. That's the first thing the recruiters are going to see. So I made sure I had a good CV out. I started to prep myself. Of course, after the training, I read around the subjects. I asked questions. I started to apply aggressively on any site you could think of. I was just applying for the different roles. And then I started to interview. And the more you interview, the more you gain knowledge. Of course, I failed a lot of interviews. Even me, while doing the interview, I knew that I was spitting rubbish or I knew that I didn't know the answers, but I didn't let that stop me. I just continued on. If I go for an interview, whatever questions they ask me, I take note of it. Of course, I've built my knowledge on that. So when I'm going to the next interview, I'm taking the knowledge I learned from the previous one and I'm using it to shine in the next one. If I don't get it, that's okay. I move on to the next. I wasn't going to give up. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to upskill. I knew that as a software tester, you can't be manual. You need to move to automation. And of course, that's where they pay more money, so to speak. So I knew my why. I knew what I wanted, and I was going to go all out to make sure I get it. And so after several interviews, and that was how, yeah, I landed on, and I got different offers as well. So it kind of opened the door for me, if I could say so.
Okay, so I being to be specific, when you actually got rejections for offers, like were they like more than let's say 10, 20
Of course,
or
it was a lot. You get it was
okay,
a lot. I got so used to saying, so at the beginning it was very depressing to say, oh, unfortunately we don't. But
rejections?
yeah, at some point, when I see it, I'm just like,
It became
that's not the one.
normal.
Yeah, that's not the company for me. I just
Okay.
program my head that there's probably something in that company that I probably should not even work in the first place. So I just put my mind on that's not the right job for me. The one that is for me is coming for me. And so I just kept on. I can't count it. I can't say this is the amount of rejections because they were so low. At some point, I was keeping track, but at some point, I didn't see any relevance in it. It doesn't change anything. That's how I think. My own is I want to get a job, so rejections fine. The opportunity will come. But I also did a number of interviews, a number of them, yeah, and I always went back to it. So yes, that's it. There'll be
Oh,
rejections, but you can't give up.
okay. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that because a lot of
Yeah.
persons will just feel after training they are hitting hitting the ground running, cases whereby most times some persons are so lucky enough to get a job almost immediately or even before they finish their training. But I'm happy you're able to share yours, that it wasn't that way. So others can also know it doesn't work that way most times. Okay, so what specific skills or competencies have been crucial for you in navigating the changing landscape of work? Did you move from a particular field to tech? And what was the specific skill in question that made it like quite crucial for you while transitioning?
Yeah, I was in sales, but for a very short time before I moved to tech. For just
Wow.
a bit, yeah, I was in sales. So I didn't know any, I didn't do computer when I was in school. I did economics. So it was a whole new ground. But testing is, I speak for myself. It's not rocket science when you want to start. You just need to have the right information and the right resources to be able to know what you're doing. And I was lucky enough to have that at the time I started. And of course, there's always levels to everything. I'm sure even for a Scrum Master or even for a business analyst, there are levels or there are things you need to do to be able to move up the chain. I'd also tried other things though. At one time, I tried to do project management, I think that's what it's called, but it didn't work for me. So I knew that I was testing, and because that's my familiar ground, and I know that there's a career progression for that. So I just kept at it, you know. I hope that answers your question. I don't know if.
Oh, yes, yes, it does.
Mm.
Okay, so I would like to move to Abayomi on this question. Hi, Abayomi.
Hi.
Sorry for the break in transmission again. This is just to bring to your notice. Have you gone on the website to register for the tech conference coming up on the 6th of April? If you haven't done so, go on techpinnaclesevent.co.uk right now and register for it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks. Back to the video.
Okay, so how important has networking and building professional relationship been in advancing your career in this digital age?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that there's nothing you want to do that somebody has not been doing or somebody has not done. And so the best way to actually do what you want to do is to look out for somebody that is doing it or that has done it, and then model, ask question, look at the way they are living their lives, look at what the steps they took, and you'll be able to do that faster. And that is what networking is. So for me, it's actually let me say a long story. If I start now about talking how networking and building relationship has helped me, it's going to be my journey to the digital stuff started when I registered for a course in 2020. It was a virtual assistant course. And then we were taught how to navigate job boards, the likes of Upwork, Fiverr, and stuff like that. So in that community, when we finished the course, I found out that there were some guys that had core tech skills. They only enrolled because they wanted to know how to navigate all these job boards. So I moved close to them. I started talking to them, chatting with them. When some of them said, I'm a project manager, I'm a business analyst, I'm a developer, front end, back end. I started knowing, core tech roles and what they really do. So I said I wanted to do tech too now. I wanted to go into tech. So one of them now talked to me about these tech roles. I looked at coding, I did a bit. I didn't like it. I did digital marketing a bit. I didn't really like it too. So later, the person we were talking and the person talked about product management and then recommended a place where I could learn product management. But while we were doing product management, I fell in love with Scrum. So I started talking about Scrum because the way the person took us, the instructor took us about Scrum, I started talking about Scrum. I started looking out for, I searched online for about Scrum Master, about Scrum. So I think I stumbled on Yemi Odupote's page on LinkedIn. So I looked at it and I started looking at Learn with Pride. And that's how I came into Learn with Pride and started learning and enrolled for the Scrum Master
Indeed,
course.
you learned with pride. Okay.
and enrolled for the Scrum Master course. So the journey might have, because being in Learn with Pride now is just a little bit over 6 months. So the journey might have been longer than that if I didn't kickstart it, with talking to people, curiosity, talking to people, asking them questions, being friendly, not bugging them actually, not bugging them, sending them DMs all the time. But, when you have something, a discovery or something that you feel you don't have understanding, just talk to them, attend events if you can too, listen to professionals talk. So these are the ways that, and it will shorten your journey actually, so that you will know where to go. Because it's not just about wanting to learn alone, but learning at the right place, coming in contact with the right resources, the right instructors, and the right people. So that's how it helped me anyway. So I just wanted to, talk to people. I saw people that were already in the space, and I wanted to talk to them. So I was picking one thing or the other from them, and it brought me into Learn with Pride, and I started my Scrum Master journey.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I learned that our third panelist is here. Hi, Fola Jimmy. Hi, Fola Jimmy. Can you hear me? Okay. I think we can continue. I'm not sure is. Okay, so moving on.
Question. While we expect, hello everyone, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So while we expect the third panelist, Oluwasegun, I would like to ask.
Okay.
I would like to ask, could you highlight a significant challenge you faced in transitioning to the digital era of work? How did you overcome the challenges? There's this point A and there is this point B. So I want you to share it with participants.
How
did you transition point A to point B? Practical steps, please.
Okay, so first of all, I would say one of the first thing that helped me was curiosity, open mind. Open mind. Some people call it the growth mindset. Believing that okay, this thing that people are doing, I can do it too, and I want to do it too. Because you've heard about, okay, people are tech guys, they are earning this so amount, they are having good work-life balance, they're having perks at their jobs and stuff like that. I want to do it too. So having that growth mindset, not, there are people that believe that tech is not for everybody. The truth is there is tech everywhere now. Everywhere, in fact, every business now, every company, there is tech in there. There's no company that can actually survive this 21st century without being in tech. So having that curiosity, that open mindset that, okay, what people are doing, then I want to do it too. Then again, like I said, number 2, one of the things that work for me is networking. Talking to people in that particular space. That idolo, or is it idolo they call it, this Gen Z word, that that person that you idolize so much, that you know you are looking at as a professional in the space, a senior professional that you admire his lifestyle. Talk to them, speak with them. I remember even the CEO of Len with Pride was saying that at some point he was working as a security guy, and then he saw these tech guys and he moved close to them. So that actually helped me too. I was talking to professionals about it. Okay, how do you people do this thing? What are the things I need? Stuff like that. When I even started when I talk to a lot of people, they would say, Kai, go and get a laptop. You don't have a laptop. How do you want to survive? You don't have a laptop, stuff like that. So it was still while networking that I met somebody that said you can actually learn some things with your phone. And that was what led me to the VA class and stuff like that. You can learn some things on your phone, and I started after that I started seeing a world of possibilities. A world of possibilities where in fact you can use your phone to do a lot of things. To do a lot of things. So networking helped me too. Then the next thing, one other thing I would say is self-learning, wanting to learn more. If you are going to probably attend courses, you have to, even because you have to be proactive, you have to want to learn. You have to, okay, mentioned in class. Something is mentioned in class, you pick it, you go and read about it. So, and that's part of the things I do. I learn. So, and again, even learning will help you to understand your instructors better. It will help you to even be able to ask questions in class. So, you will learn your own. I think that's also one of the things that helped me. Then the last thing is I can say mentorship. Apart from networking, I think that at one point of the day, you would have somebody in the space that you can quickly talk to, and you can reach out when you failed an interview. You can quickly tell the person when you made a mistake. You can talk about it, and the person can give you tips on how to navigate better in another day. So I think those are the things that help me.
All right. Thank you, Oluwasegun, for furnishing us extensively with that. I would like you to share with our participant here. Can you just share a story of a challenge that you were able to overcome when you first started out? How did you overcome that challenge when you first started out on this tech transitioning journey? Can you share with us the story, maybe on a project, how you were able to handle it and all? Could you share with us the story that you remember? Or it could be a project.
Okay, so
that you worked on, and there was you were able to navigate that challenge on that project. Yes. What are the things that came into play?
All right. So one of the projects that we worked on, this particular project, our tester was not showing up. And the project I worked on actually had Investmates. That's the name of the project. Our tester was not always showing up. So we had issues. And in fact, this same question was asked during an interview. They give us a scenario of how you're able to navigate a challenge in your workplace, so like that. So it wasn't showing up. So we were always, so our sprint was not always moving as planned. It's supposed to be a 2-week sprint, but when tester is not showing up now, you cannot say work is done. So we always try to reach out to him. We're trying to find out what's happening, all of that. And at that point in time, because all of us were junior people now, and we were kind of afraid to reach out to our guys.
I think we lost.
It's 2 weeks, and it's becoming more than 2 weeks. So he said our tester was not showing up, and he was like, "Who did you tell? What did you do?" Then we have reached out to him. I, especially as a scrum master, have reached out to him, talked to him about it. I wanted him to know that he cannot do your estimation for you, and if you are not coming, if you estimate wrongly for you, then it's not going to work out. So, but he wasn't just showing up. So I gained a valuable insight in that place, because Mr. King was telling us, what if this is actually happening in an organization? What will you do? So you reach out to an internal stakeholder, let them know that your tester is not showing. That kind of person can be replaced. That was how I answered the same question in the interview. This kind of person can be replaced. You don't want your work lagging because somebody in the team is not showing up, is not cooperating. And that's what later happened. They got us another tester, and our sprint started working well. We started working as a team, collaboratively as we are supposed to do.
Thank you so much, Oluwasegun, for that submission. That was very interesting to hear. And if you wanted to say it in today's in the let me put it the way in the language of the Gen Z, they'll tell you, oh, they can work under pressure. Now that's working under pressure. The ability to make fast decisions on your feet. That's really cool. So apart from having the domain knowledge of being a product manager, you should have the skill of managing workplace crisis,
yes,
or project crisis. The ability to think on your feet, because that's where the job is. The ability to think on your feet is very important. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I think Fola Jimmy on this call. Hi, Fola Jimmy, are you on this call? Okay, Fola Jimmy is here to be on this call. Okay, so let me go over to Maiwa. Maiwa. Hi, Maiwa. Okay, so this next question is for you. I would like to ask, how do you stay updated with emerging technologies as it relates to your career? How do you stay on top of the trend? We are in a fast-paced moving world. And then before you wake up the next minute, something else has overridden the last development. So how do you stay on top of emerging technologies to better your career? Could you please share with us?
Yeah, so as I tested, there are different forums online that they always talk of what's next in terms of testing, what next tool is coming up, what next methodology is coming up, So there are forums like Test Automation University. There's so many of them. I can't, off the top of my head, can't remember all of them, but I just subscribe to a number of them and try. Of course, it's not easy, but I try to look at it. But the most practical way, I think, which is I do regularly, is I go on LinkedIn, I search for jobs. I would, on LinkedIn, you can put your role and then location. So I do that, and then I put different countries' locations. I could put Germany today, I could put the US, I could put the UK, I could put Nigeria, I could put anywhere, especially where they're paying, good money. And then look at the job specifications. With time, you will see certain requirements appearing in the different roles. So at some point, when you're looking for a job, everybody's asking for, I'm talking of software testing now, everybody's looking at the person knows Selenium. They want someone with Selenium and C# skills, or they want someone with Selenium and Java skills. Later on, you start saying it's Cypress they're looking for. So you would always, those trends, you always say it because every company also wants to move on with the trend. So you see companies still are updating their roles or their job requirements to say, okay, if we want to employ somebody in this field, the person must have so and so. So that's the quickest and easiest way I learn about, okay, what's the next best thing that people are looking for? Because obviously my goal is to be employable. My goal is to make sure that I have the skills to attract, recruiters, to attract good opportunities, and also that's the quickest way I do it, aside from reading up on forums, joining on, of course, being in communities like this, there are always things that are shared, there are always discussions around all those things. And yeah, I learned from all of that. That's how I'm able to navigate stuff like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayowa, for that. Thank you. Thank you, Mayowa, for that. Thank you for using that word navigate. Thank you for using that word navigate. If we heard what Mayowa said very well, we can stay on top of emerging technology by staying within the community. So if you're in product management, you stay within the product management community so you can be ahead. And LinkedIn is a good place to start. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, let me move it to my host.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. So I hope you guys are still enjoying the conversation. Like I said, for the listeners, kindly drop your questions in the chat so that we can ask the panelists as we go on. So moving on to the next question. Abayomi. Hi, Abayomi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so in your experience, what role do you continuously learn or upskill that it plays way in building long-term employability to you? Like, what role do continuous learning and upskilling play in building long-term employability?
Okay. I mentioned that. Can you hear me, please? Can you still hear me?
Oh yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I mentioned that one of the key skill of or one of the things that would actually make you employable in the digital world is that you should have this should be open to learning. You should want to learn. Now, because the truth is this is a dynamic environment or ecosystem. It's a dynamic ecosystem. Things are changing, new tools are coming out, and you don't want to be left. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be left behind. So, for me, especially for the fact that I follow industry, top leaders. I get to hear about emerging trends. I also have this stuff called Google Alerts that I set. I set for some particular keywords, and I get information, new posts, new blog posts, new website design, new forums, all stuff like that about them. So, and it helps me to learn. And then one thing I would like to say is that you can't know everything at once. There are always levels. There are always levels, and so you have to be prepared to always want to learn. Because as I am now, I still have some certifications in view. Because in one interview like that, we're being asked that, okay, have you worked with multiple Scrum teams and stuff like that? I remember when I was doing my Scrum Master training, Yemi mentioned Scrum of Scrums. So, and I was able to say yes, I think that's Scrum of Scrum. And, so the guy was talking about scaled agile. So I was just, using what I have learned. I was just using it to reply. And the guy was nodding his head that, okay, this guy, you know what you are saying, But deep down, I knew that, okay, maybe when it gets to that point, I should be prepared to take that certification. So, is a dynamic ecosystem. Things are changing, new tools are coming out, and you would need to learn it. Somebody was talking in our own group about one Azure DevOps project management stuff. We were taught with Jira. We are very, very familiar with Jira, but now somebody's talking about Azure DevOps stuff like that. And I started watching some YouTube videos about it and stuff like that. So because I might get a role. In fact, I've seen like 1 or 2 roles, but they are not roles within my years of experience anyways. But I've seen 1 or 2 roles where they mentioned it as one of the requirements. So if you don't want to be left behind, you really need to be open to continuous learning. If I didn't take my time to check about Scrum of Scrums and stuff like that, maybe in that interview, I would not even be able to say anything. I'll not be able to say anything. I'll just be looking. And when it gets to that point in an interview, you can get really, really uncomfortable. Yeah, and it can spoil the atmosphere from that. You can just go on a downward spiral from that moment, and you lose your confidence and stuff like that. So you have to be prepared to learn continuously. Learn continuously does not mean you have to be reading big textbooks, stuff like that. Might just being, scrolling through YouTube videos, reading posts from your thought leaders. You'll be picking one thing or the other about how to navigate the workplace, how to better your skill and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you so much, Abayomi. Like you all have heard from him, when it comes to upskilling and when it comes to continuous learning, there is this part that you need to always put in the works, because the truth is, if you also don't grow for your own self, you start seeing yourself that you are diminishing in the company you're working for. And the more you start growing and improving on your own learning on your own, it gives you the ability for the company itself to see that, okay, you are due for promotion, you are due for this or that. That's why you need to improve on your own personal self, right? Do not say because you're already in the company now and you just like let your career just be that stage, right? There's this part of you continuously learning, like Abayomi mentioned, the aspect whereby it doesn't necessarily need to be the entire textbook to get the idea of what you, or the improvement or growth you want for your own personal skill. You just need to take it a step at a time. I also recommend cases like Medium. It gives 4 minutes reading or 3 minutes reading, where you can just go read a little, get idea of what is going on, especially in your own particular field of study in tech, and it gives you idea of, okay, you need to keep improving yourself and you need to keep learning. Okay, so I would like to ask Mayowa this question. Looking ahead, what do you foresee as the key challenges and opportunities for individuals seeking to build employability in the digital age? Hi, Mayowa. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I was just trying to. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I said, should I go over the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, looking ahead, what do you foresee as the key challenges and opportunities for individuals seeking to build employability in the digital age?
I think there are different aspects to that question. So, if for example, I'll give different scenarios. For somebody that's just branching into tech, it might be a struggle trying to figure out which part of it you really want to do, because there's Scrum Master, there's product management, there's BA, there's testing, there's so many product owners, a lot of it. There's software developers as well, DevOps engineers. So I think if you're just branching it, you really need to do a lot of research and checks to know that, okay, this is the path I want to go to, because you can't really practically branch into different ones. See the one you are able to flourish in, see the one that is convenient for you. I know that, for example, now I can imagine Abayomi will probably be, very a good communicator, because when you're a Scrum Master, you have to be hype, you need to be able to be gingering, motivating your someone like me that I'm a software tester. It's not really my
Sorry for the break in transmission again. This is just to bring to your notice. Have you gone on the website to register for the tech conference coming up on the 6th of April? If you haven't done so, go on techpinnaclesevent.co.uk right now and register for it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks. Back to the video.
my forte to be. I just want to see what you've built, and I want to test it to be sure that it's working effectively. We're delivering to clients. That was what concerns me. Is the code working? That's the one that concerns me. So you would look at your strengths. Of course, you can build your communication skills. If I want to go into Scrum, I know that, okay, I would have registered it in my head that, oh, I probably need to upskill in this part of it. So basically, it's just knowing your strengths and knowing how you want to build on it, and then finding the right resources. I can't emphasize that enough. The internet, you just go. I've watched some videos on YouTube. They're seriously teaching nonsense, And if you don't know, you would take that knowledge and you go and be riding on it. Meanwhile, it's wrong for numerous reasons. So you have to be sure of where you're learning from. You get me? So that's another key thing. So it's knowing what you want, building on what your skills, finding the resources, finding the people exactly. And Abayomi already mentioned it, which is very key. People have already done it. So find those people, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Sometimes I'll go on LinkedIn and be looking at people that I say, I reach out to people. Some of them, they answer, some they don't. It's okay. That's fine. I move on. I just have this belief that what's the worst that can happen? It's when you don't do nothing at all. That's when you've messed up for yourself. The key thing is to just do something. If it fails, you've learned something. And if it works, thumbs up. But you keep going. At least there's life, you keep moving on. So yes, I think those are the two things I can think of. But there's absolutely anybody that cannot learn any skill. People are doing it. People do it. The people that are doing it, they don't have two heads. So absolutely, I don't think there's any challenge. I just think you need to I don't see it as a challenge. I just think you need to figure out what you want to do, find the resources to do what you want to do, and then, of course, I don't know who you pray to whatever God you like or you believe in. I believe in God. So, and then move on with it. Yeah, that's it on my own end.
Thank you for that. Also, I think there's this part of whereby most persons feel the tech skill itself is very easy. And unknown to them that when you enter, there's this part of you trying to face a particular challenge, but not giving up at that time makes you scale through the journey.
Yeah, so that's true. It can seem easy. Of course, I've seen Scrum and I'll be like, what are they even doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easy, but trust me, it's not easy managing people. I told you now, I jumped into project management when I saw the analysis and all of that they used to do. I ran away from it. I knew it wasn't for me. Same thing with automation. You get you whatever thing you need to do, you need to be ready to put in the work. That's just what it is. You need to look at your why. Why do I really want this thing? That's what will drive you. I know my whys is always at my forefront. I know the reason why I'm doing everything I'm doing. So it motivates me to, keep pushing and all of that. So nothing is easy. Even illegal ways are not even easy. They have to do a lot of brain work to do it. So talk less of legal ways. You get me? So nothing is easy. You just need to zero your mind and put in the work. I remember when I was also learning the automation, sometimes I look at it and be like, this is it going to enter like this? Especially when I started interviews. Oh my goodness, the very first one, when I was done with it, I called my trainer, the CEO of Learn Repair. They asked me what was philo something something something. I've never heard that one before. It's like, don't worry about it. Just write it down. Now you know the meaning. I didn't even bother and the funny thing is, for every interview you go to, they always ask different questions. It's really different. But what you need to do is just build your own story. They've called the fact that, your CV has taken you to the point where you have an interview. It means that they think or they know that there's something in this person they want to find out more. So that alone already gives you a leverage. So yeah, just need to build your confidence. And like I said, if it doesn't work, it wasn't for you. The one that is for you, you are not going to miss it. So that's just my belief system and all. So yeah.
So I think some persons are asking that they want to ask question. Oluwasomi Ogunleye. Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Oluwasomi.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Mayowa and Shegun, for the whatever question you've been asking. Yeah, I have a couple of questions for Mayowa. I just want to know. Yeah, are you people hearing me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, yeah. So I want to know, you're a tester. I want to know the difference between a tester and a test engineer. At times, someone will say, like, I think in the flyer, I saw test engineer. Now you say you're a tester. You know, I I don't really get the
Don't
difference.
worry.
Do you
It's
code,
the same.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. It's the same thing. It's the
Uh,
same, absolutely the same thing. They just give it different names. Today they are calling it, when I started, it was test analyst. Then they moved it to, so
yes,
as they are
yes.
updating
So
it,
other we say
you'll be calling
test
yourself.
analyst.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Test is test. It's just, and sometimes some people call it quality assurance. You might
Yeah,
enter,
exactly.
it might be,
But
yes,
some people say quality assurance is different.
so yes.
Test
There,
and tester. Yeah.
I would clarify that. So software testing is software testing. So quality assurance in some companies, it's about, so they use that term, or they use that department to check the process of software development life cycle. So they're, as against, okay, when a solution is built and then you need to test it, you're a tester. But quality assurance, they'll start checking from, oh, do we have the BRD? Does the BRD have so and so information? Does it have, is it stating all the systems we're going to be speaking to? The process, okay, when it's done with the BRD, especially in waterfall environment, I think that's where I stand corrected, but I feel like that's where they really use that kind of process. But they just say, oh, a quality assurance person is the one that will check the different process to show that the software development lifecycle is going according to flow, if that makes any sense. However, I've worked in an environment that they call the software testers quality QAs. Do you get? So they're all interrelated. But another thing is, for quality assurance, you would see some companies, manufacturing companies especially, having quality assurance. So when you're looking at job roles, you really need to be clear. When you see manufacturing, you know that that's not the software testing quality assurance. Do you get? So
Yeah, I noticed that.
yeah, so you would see that. So that's why sometimes, when you want to look for it, if you put QA, like I said, use that LinkedIn very well. LinkedIn is a very strong tool when you're looking for all those things. When when you put QA, sometimes you will see software testing related job requirements. That's what you'll follow. So it depends on whatever they call it, but I believe all of them are the same. Software tester, software test engineer, QA, test analyst is all testing we're doing. There's even now product tester. If you check, it's coming up now. So tomorrow you might see my name and I'll put product tester under. It's still testing I'm doing. So that's it. It's the same.
I don't know if I can add to that.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So what matters most is the job description. Do you understand? Name is just one thing. The job description. Read the job description. If the job description suits what you can do, apply for it. Do you understand? Apart from the fact that the IT QA is different from the industry or manufacturing QA. When you look at a name of a role, and you will now check the job description, and you see that these are what you can do, just apply. They will check your CV, see what you have outlined in your CV, and if they see you fit for the job, they will call you. So don't put too much emphasis on the name that you now miss a job that is actually suited for you. I've seen product management jobs that what they want is actually a Scrum Master, lead and facilitate Scrum events, remove impediments. When I look at that, this is a Scrum Master. This is a Scrum Master's role. So if it's something that suits what you do, apply for it. Don't put too much emphasis on the name. Names are changing all the time. People, some companies will call their name. They will call a particular role something. They will call it A. The other company will call it P. But if the job description just suits you, go for it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shagun. Yeah, another question again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry, another question. I have, series of questions already.
Series of questions. I think you should summarize, please.
Yeah, Mayowa, please. Are you like you started with software? I know. You started with manual testing.
Yes, I did.
Are you saying that you didn't get a role in manual testing, as a manual tester? That's why you now have to upgrade or move to automated testing. You don't want to find out.
No,
And what are your challenges when you are doing manual testing compared to when you are doing automated testing? Yeah.
Okay. Am I on? Okay. How do I begin? I was first a manual tester. So when you're doing, I'll give you a scenario based. When you've done manual testing, like I said, I started to look at opportunities to see, okay, what are they, for example, I like to give practical example. If I go on job boards now or job sites and I want to get a new job, the job requirements, all of them are looking for somebody that has automation skills. And then maybe out of 10, I see 8 need automation skills and 2 want manual testing, or it's just for manual testers. Of course, to be able to open myself to more opportunities, I have to move from being just a manual tester to being an automation tester. I don't know if I'm answering your question, let me know. So that's I was a manual tester, but I needed to upskill. When you have to advance, you can't just remain in one level. So if all the companies are using automation, you have to move automation, unless before you know it, you're phased out. Not to say they are not still manual testing jobs. They are manual testing jobs. However, I think there are more of automation. Even sometimes they will say they want automation. By the time you get into the role itself, you would realize that they are not even doing the automation. but most company wants to be at the forefront. Everyone wants to be seen as a company that they're using latest trends and all of that. So they would want to have the best candidate that has those skills, just so that if they want to pivot into automation, they have the skill set already within the organization. But I was first a manual tester before I then upskilled to having automation. And then your second question was the challenge, right? Or can you repeat it for me? Or if I've answered it, then that's fine.
Are you there, Oluwasomi?
Okay.
Hi, Oluwasomi, are you there?
I think maybe we're clear.
Okay, I think we are clear. So let me
Yeah.
ask a question I got from Musu. He said, at Mayowa, did you do your training while working, and how did you manage it? Like work and training alongside?
Yeah, I did. I did. I was working while I was training. I think my trainings they were not during the day. I think they were in the evenings or on Saturday. So yeah, I was working while I was training. You balance it, like I said, I know what I want. So whatever it takes, and I was ready to put in the work, and I know that it's only for a short period. Of course, the training is not going to last forever. So yeah, I figured it wasn't easy, to be very honest. And then if I missed a class, of course, there's always a catch-up session. So I try to catch up before the next one. So yeah.
Is it that it was the boot camp you learned from that gave the privilege to work and learn based on their learning or teaching schedule? Or you just had to squeeze in time on your own?
Sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say?
I think, was it like the boot camp where you learn from that gave that privilege for you to learn and work? Sometimes boot camps can give this aspect whereby maybe their teaching pattern accommodates people that work also.
Oh, okay. No, but I just knew that at the time I was doing my training, the time for our sessions did not clash with my working hours. So, like, I worked during the day. The classes were either in the evening or on Saturdays. I can't really, yeah, they were in the evenings. I remember now, sometime around evening. So I'm done with work, and then it's it. So yeah, that's how I was able to do it.
So at Abayomi, hi Abayomi.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, a question is being passed to you. Did you start your career as a Scrum Master, or you switched from one field to another?
Okay, yes. Yes, I switched. It's yeah, when I entered into tech, well, I was actually doing something before entering tech, but when I entered into tech, I started out looking for product management. I did a product management training, then did an internship, product management training. But it was during that internship that I now, caught on Scrum. I, you know, and I've been seeing rules. I've been seeing rules about Scrum Master, Scrum Master, Scrum Master. So when they now started talking about Scrum, I picked interest, and I was like, okay, so let me go and this Scrum stuff. I must do it. I must do it. I've always loved, being outspoken, talking to people, finding the root cause of a problem and then solving it, teamwork stuff. I've always liked stuff like that. So I said, okay, this Scrum, let me go and look for a way to learn. As at that point in time, I wanted to learn it so I can understand it. But when I got in contact with Lenwood, right, and I saw the way they were doing their stuff, I was like, wow, let me do this. So I switched. Yes, you can call it a switch. Yes, I switched.
Abayomi, are you here? Can you hear me, Abayomi?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So a question is also passed. Please, okay, I think before I ask this question, Michael,
Yeah.
okay, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for engaging us. Actually, it's not my first time of attending Learn with Pride webinar, so this is the second time. Just that we are really engaging much of a Scrum Master and an automation engineer. So the other panelists, we will really like that you bring them in. Maybe there will be some other things we can learn from them. We can chat them up because we've been engaging much of Abayomi and Mayowa. All right, I will be so brief. My question goes to both Mayowa and Abayomi. You will take in turn to answer my question. Number one is that has been the work environment or etiquette when you work for a Nigerian company or a foreign company. So perhaps one of you meet yourself working maybe remotely or full time for a Nigerian company. Because from what Mayo has said all this while, definitely I sense she must have worked for Nigerian company and she knows what the pays and pegs her compared to a foreign company. Because from what she was saying the other time, I could sense that she does some of those things I do as well. I do switch my LinkedIn location to Germany, France, and some other things. So just to see what I can learn in tech. So what can you sense between the pegs pay and the work etiquette is like for Nigerian company and foreign company? Then another thing is how are you balancing your lifestyle? Because sitting in front of a system from 9 to 5 p.m. is not a small joke. How do you exercise or balance life? Do you go for Owambe party? Because I definitely shouldn't just be coding automation without your glasses, especially my I can see another glasses on Abayomi again. And I hope it's not just going to be these same glasses all of us that we are listening to will start putting on our faces too. So how do you balance your life? Because some of these companies, I do read a lot about them. They do give bonuses for healthcare, especially eyes, your teeth, dental, these things. So are you chopping the money or you are just working, Jack? So it's the reason why I was asking about the job etiquette for foreign companies. So you can go ahead and answer the question, both of you.
Okay, so I think Maiwa should go first.
Go first.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Michael. And my glasses is not as a result of the I've been wearing glasses since I was a child, just to clear that one. So yeah, like I would say, I can't generalize um the work-life balance in Nigeria and in another country where I have experience, which is in the UK, because I've worked in a company in Nigeria where there was work-life balance. It was so when we worked hard, but when we played really hard. Do you get me? And there was another company where I worked where the work was very, very hard. Do you understand? So it all depends on the company itself. Do you get? I don't think I can generalize it. However, also in the UK, I think it's the same thing, but there's less pressure because in the foreign place, they are very big on people's mental health and all of that, and so to speak. So there's been I would say maybe less pressure with, working with a foreign company. and there are a lot more resources, do you understand? As against, Nigeria, they want one person to wear multiple hats and all of that and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, to be honest, it really depends on the company, because I've had colleagues who say even in the foreign company they're working for, there's a lot of pressure, there's a bit of toxic environment. But like I said, I pray to a certain God, my own God, and I've not, landed in any of those kind of companies. So yeah, I don't think there's a general thing to it. And of course, all companies, even in Nigeria, they have all those benefits, insurance. There's this thing they call it, I've forgotten it though, but all companies have to provide those, any good company. Yeah? Sorry.
HMOs.
Exactly. Every company must give you those sort of benefits some way or the other. So it's all companies, regardless of anything. But work-life balance is also dependent on the company you're working for, wherever you are. That's what I believe anyway.
Okay, thank you. Abayomi, would you like to add to?
Okay. I think she has said a lot about it. It actually depends on the company itself. Then it depends on how long the company has been around. When you are working with a startup, it's a different ballgame. Do you understand? But when you are working for a company that's really, really established, to kind of, you enjoy yourself, the work is there at the right time. The play is also there at the right time. And yes, now Nigerian companies they are trying in terms of the perks, HMOs, pensions, and stuff. They are doing that too. They are doing that. But then you can't compare the salary itself, the benefits. I mean, in the quantity now, with that of international companies. We are in different markets. In fact, the gap is high. So you get the gap is high. When you work for a Nigerian company and you are being paid, some hundreds of thousands, when you work with an international company, the stuff is going to be very, very higher than that. Even for the same role and the number of the years of experience. So that is where it is. That is where it is. But in terms of work-life balance, Nigerian companies are also they are adopting that culture, good work culture. They're adopting it. So you don't have that to fear. And you see, this one is not a recommended glass. It's actually an anti-blue light. It's just to protect my eyes. So nothing. There's no problem with it. This is not recommended. It's just to protect my eyes when I use screen. Sometimes when I have to sit in front of screen, I sit for hours, and sometimes I don't even have anything to really do. You understand? For a whole day, I just have to be online and make sure that I'm reachable. Sometimes for a whole day, apart from handling this daily scrum, nothing really to do. Check up on people, get feedback. Nothing like that to really do. So it's also protect the eyes, and it's better, prevention better than care.
Okay, thank you, Abayomi. So Michael, for the last panelist, right, will be joining. Currently, he's trying to fix up something. That's why he's not here yet. So, and I'm sure the other panelists are open to answering your questions accurately. So if you have questions, you can still drop, and they would help to answer questions accurately. And to add to it before calling someone that raised hand, please raise your hand again. I think it's now down. Okay, Bewaji, before I call you in, I'd like to add to the aspect of the work-life balance. So, like the panelists already said, it depends on the company. Work-life balance has nothing to do with the country, but it has something to do with the company itself. So that's why most times when people are trying to apply to companies for opportunities, take time to also ask for how the companies operate and also the work-life balance for the people that are working in the company, so you can get a glimpse of how workers in the company operate. So you know if you're in for ethic work-life balance or you're in for okay, work here, play here, you know. So it all depends on company and not country. I just needed to clear that out because different companies are in different. It's the company person that is handling the company that matters, not the country. Country doesn't have anything to do with if the work life is going to be balanced or not or ethical, regardless. Okay, so Bewaji. Hi Bewaji, can you hear me? Your answer raised. Um, Niyi. Hi Niyi.
Oh, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, okay. I want to say a big thank you to the panelists. It's been quite wonderful this evening. And my question is this, and it goes to probably all the panelists. I am a Scrum Master with Learn with Pride. I think I was in the same cohort with Abayomi. And one question I want to ask. A couple of times when you are trying to make an application, and while we were talking the other time, you said something. I wasn't sure whether it was a Mayowa or probably you that said something about changing your location. And I discovered a couple of times when you're trying to after like sending your resume and you're trying to get a couple of people saying your resume is fantastic, is this, is that. And eventually they will now invite you for, to fill application and all sorts. And I discovered that most of the ones I've done, especially let's say in the States, they tend to request and ask that they tend to request for whether you're eligible to work in the US. And a couple of times I might not need to lie. I mean, probably I don't tell lies concerning it. I would rather say no. And I discovered that by the time they go on and
Sorry for the break in transmission again. This is just to bring to your notice. Have you gone on the website to register for the tech conference coming up on the 6th of April? If you haven't done so, go on techpinnaclesevent.co.uk right now and register for it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks. Back to the video.
up and they just return back to me and say they'll just say like, okay, fine, since you are not eligible to work in the US, we're sorry, we can't go on with your application. So can I get a little bit of shedding of light on that? Because in terms of every other thing, I want to say probably Learn with Pride has maybe this the best set of teaching techniques. Even if at all if you have not started the job, you are so sure that when you get on the job, you will trash everything. So but the aspect is getting into it. So that particular point, I just need a little bit of clarification on it. Because if you are changing location, at the same time, maybe they might not ask, I don't know. But I've never changed location. I'm in Nigeria. I've always left it as being in Nigeria. And please, can you just shed more light on it and what you do? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Abayomi, can you please answer the question?
Okay, so first of all, I don't change location too. I don't change location, but I don't apply on LinkedIn alone. I don't apply on LinkedIn alone. I apply on Jobberman. That's really for Nigeria. But Indeed, I apply on Indeed, and because I have the knowledge of Upwork, I apply on Upwork too. Upwork is very, very liberal. You see employers around the world that wants to hire anybody, but then the competition is stiff because now it's open to a lot of people. Then once in a while too, there are roles that we want to hire for, for Africa, but they are not that plenty on LinkedIn. One other thing that I am trying to test out now is to check if there's an hiring manager attached to the stuff, to the particular job, then send them a connect, stuff like, and then reach them, send a DM to them. Some of them will still reply. They will tell you, sorry, we are not hiring from your region. Some of them will say we are not hiring from your region, and some of them will say, okay, send me your CV, let me see. Sure you understand. So, because even apart from the fact that they will say, okay, are you eligible to work? Sometimes they even add it. Do you require a visa to be able to work? So how do you want to lie that lie? So I don't lie too. I put no, dear. Sometimes even when I get to that point, that are you eligible to work in the UK? Because I apply for UK jobs a lot. Are you eligible to work in the UK? I just this one too. It's 50-50 at that point. It's 50-50 at that point. So I just let it go. But the truth is, you definitely see some that it's just that they're not as much as the ones that require visa and stuff like that. But you still definitely see on LinkedIn. So don't change your location. I don't know. You might even get your LinkedIn banned. You should not be changing location like that.
Okay, thank you. Maya, would you want to?
Yeah, so let me just clarify the changing location thing. When I mentioned it, I was talking about using it to see what different countries are requesting for in terms of tools and technology. When you look, because you can't use Nigeria's own as your benchmark. You need to see what Nigeria is moving towards, what those countries have moved into. So when you're switching it, it's just to be able to filter for jobs within that region, to see the roles, to see the job requirements, not to apply. If you're going to apply, they're definitely going to ask you. Your phone number alone will already tell them that you're not in their region and stuff like that. So if you want to apply for remote jobs, there are many websites for remote jobs. There's FlexJob, there's remote.io, there's a list. I have a list of them. There are a lot of people in Nigeria that are getting remote jobs. You just need to find it. And even on the same LinkedIn, if you put the role and you put strictly remote, so that it will just filter for strictly remote jobs as well. So yeah, just to clarify that.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure that answered Michael's question. So Obina, okay. Ewa, do you have?
Yeah, hello. Sorry to hold you down a little bit. Just now, I think Mayowa made mention of some some stuffs about remote jobs and everything, and naturally when we were actually making up our resume, we have put it there like willing to relocate, and naturally we use Learn with Pride as a as a reference. And in which case, in terms of the experience too, we put Learn with Pride. And while you are doing that, you are putting remote in front of it. So naturally, they understand the fact that, oh, you are used to remote, because during the live project, everything was it was done remotely, and everything was done as if we were like operating in the real world of tech. And the interaction, especially practicing the daily scrum and everything was intact. And can you, for the benefit of some other people, can you please put probably in the comment section the links to all those all those stuffs? For example, okay, I think I know Indeed, I know Upwork, I know Jobberman, and also, I mean, other ones that you have. Can you just put it for the benefit of others who might need it too? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bewaji. Hi, Obina.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I asked my question in comment section.
Oh,
I asked the Scrum Master and panelists. So the job prospect of Scrum Master, because it's as if everybody is talking about Scrum Master, and it's been something I'm so much interested in. Yeah, but because of the level of my engagement, so I've not been able to sign up to that.
okay. So, Abayomi.
Okay. I think there's a buzz. There's a buzz around Scrum Master. There's a buzz around it. I don't know, maybe because people feel it's one of the jobs that that doesn't require coding at all. Then it's some people feel it's not ethic. Then again, I think it's a Scrum itself. The framework is not that very old. It's not that very old. So it's just coming out, and then it's becoming a wave around. Yeah, the job prospect is good. It's good. But then I think you should know why you want to be a Scrum Master. If you're somebody that likes to relate well with people, like to coach people, like to introduce stuff to people, then follow up. So like if you're somebody that doesn't get tired of doing stuff like that, then again, if you're somebody that you are not afraid of being called upon when there are issues, do you understand that they will call you, oh, Scrum Master, what's happening? I need to you you'll be able to give feedback. So I think then you can do Scrum. You can do Scrum. So those are the stuffs. But some people already have some transferable skills that they can use in other roles, so that they will not just because of the balls around Scrum, then they jump into Scrum when they can kind of stack up their experience in some other roles. So, but if you are somebody like that, somebody like I mentioned, you can do Scrum. In fact, Nigeria is still not. Nigeria is just waking up to Scrum. Do you understand? Scrum framework as itself, Nigeria is just still. It's not as common as what I've from from my own research and the kind of jobs that I come in contact with. So I don't know. I think it should depend on why you want to do it. If you are someone that like it, then you can go for it. No, at some point it was data analysts that were shouting data analyst. Everybody wanted to become a data analyst. So, well, if you feel that this is you suit some of these things that I've mentioned, some of these things that I mentioned, because I don't know, but a Scrum Master, sometimes you might be under pressure. It's not as if they are mounting pressure on you, but the pressure to deliver, the pressure to make sure that things are running smoothly, the pressure that you meet definition of done, that thing is, you put it on yourself to make sure that, and then to want to remove impediments and stuff, to make sure that things are working. So that's that about it. I don't know if I answered your question to a good to a good point.
Hi, Obina.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Obina. Adiola.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to add it. I want to add something to what I think is Olusegun that spoke. So that, being a Scrum Master, if you're thinking of being a Scrum Master, even though people think it's an easy task, but it's not an easy task in the sense that if you want to be a Scrum Master, you have to have eyes for details. You need to be able to multitask in so many things. You need to be able to mediate in different situations. You need to be able to communicate effectively without being rude. There's difference between you being able to communicate effectively and just saying it for the sake of saying. But as a Scrum Master as well, you have to be a servant leader. You have to lead by example. You do not say, do this, I'm your manager, you're nobody's manager. You're just, if you have that kind of ability that, okay, I can make people do things, you talk them to it, you make them, do it in a way that, oh yeah, so that's fine, when you talk to them and you have the ability to bring people together as one, then as a Scrum Master as well, you have to be smart. You have to have the knowledge of, everything that your team are doing. Say, for example, a little bit, what the development team, what they are on about. You have to have a little bit knowledge about their role, product owner. In case they have any problem, they are coming to you. You are the one that will solve the problem. So say, take for example, a product owner, have issue with writing the user story, or have issue with stakeholder, or have issues with getting the right documentation done. They are coming to you because you are the one in charge of putting the whole team in place, organizing the meeting, with removing impediments. Then if there's any problem, you coach them, you train them. So do you have the ability to train people? Do you have the ability to coach people? So which means as a Scrum Master, you are the center of it all. So they all come to you if they have any issue. So are you able to, welcome everyone? Do you have a welcoming spirit? I'll put it that way. Do you have a good communication skills? Because there's difference between you having a good art skill, that which is intrapersonal skill, and interpersonal skill. So you need to have both as a Scrum Master. You need both interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills, which is the art skill, the technical skills, using the Jira, stuff like that. You will have that. You'll be trained to do that. But your interpersonal skills are the ones you need to work on to be a good Scrum Master. And you need to be a good listener as well. Are you the one that listens? Because you have to listen before you make any judgment. You don't just have people when they talk and you be like, okay. You don't listen to them and reason from where they're coming from. You need to be a good listener. You need to be a good communicator. And as well, you need to, I don't know, there are some people in a meeting that if you want to talk, they talk over you. They don't let you talk. You need to, have that ability to make sure people don't talk over your talk. Not like shouting. I'm not saying you should be able to shout, but that have that skills that when you talk, people want to listen. When you say something, people want to listen and mutual respect. So if you check yourself and you think you're good in all of these things, then yes, Scrum Master is for you. But if not, maybe don't do it. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Adeola. Thank you for breaking it down. Rufus.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, can you go ahead with your question?
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate what Lemon Pride is doing to really help all of us professionals. So I have been in the field of tech, first of all, in IT support, to IT management, and of course, to project management over the years, both local and international. However, one of the things I missed, and I will confess, is not getting certifications in project management. And right now, I'm having difficulty in really securing project management roles, both local and international. I applied. I tweaked my LinkedIn to get project management roles in UK and Nigeria. A lot of it comes to my LinkedIn, and most of them I apply, but it has been difficult. I must be honest in getting those roles. Now, of course, I've tweaked my LinkedIn to reflect that. Even in fact, the back end of my LinkedIn page, you will see that, oh, this guy's like project management and all that. And even gotten some interviews, even in local interviews. And they say, oh, this man, you've done too many years in this thing. We're looking for people that have not done too many years. And I'm like, I thought experience matters. But it seems that we've done too many years. They are now looking for people that are much younger, in age. So question I want to ask is for the guy that's into Scrum Master, perhaps from his own perspective, perhaps doing some certifications in Scrum Master, Agile project management, perhaps that would help in my resume and what I put out there on LinkedIn and what I push to companies. So it's a question I'm asking, because just for management now, I'm getting too many rejections, and it's not really interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, Abayomi, you can answer.
Okay. First of all, you have done so many. You have done a lot of things. You go from IT support, IT management, to project management. So sometimes recruiters. Sometimes this gives recruiters wahala when you have done a lot of roles that are not very related. Do you understand? So if I don't know if that is on your resume and that's on your LinkedIn, you have to really talk to a professional, probably like a tech recruiter, that can guide you through some of these things. You have to probably focus on one. Okay, the reason why I've been talking about product and Scrum is because these are roles that are related. Now, somebody has done IT support, IT management. IT management is a different thing than project management. Now, those are roles that are not very, 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 they are not very, very related. So that alone might be what is putting recruiters off. When they look at your CV, this person did IT support. And this person has done IT management. This one is now in project management. That might be so. I would say that look, maybe there's Career Deck. Career Deck actually helped me with my LinkedIn and my CV. So maybe you can get a professional to look at your LinkedIn first, look at your CV to make sure those ones are on point. Once those ones are deemed on point, then you can keep applying. This doesn't mean you are not going to get rejection. You're still going to get rejections. But then you are going to know that, okay, it's not your CV that is not making you get jobs. You are going to be getting interviews too. So I think that's what I want to, from my own perspective, that's what I want to talk about. These roles are, they are far from each other. I'm surprised that you are able to switch for IT support to then IT management, then to project management, like that. So, and then for the number of years of experience, that one should not be a problem. If you have once you have fixed that part of CV and LinkedIn, if you just be applying for roles that suit your number of experience, maybe you are finally settling down project management, you have your what's it called? You have your CV and LinkedIn fixed for that. Just keep applying for, even if you have 7 years, start applying for senior roles if you are sure of what you have. If you are sure of what you have and you know that you are not rusty. Maybe it's been a while that you actually did any of this stuff, and you know things are changing. So if you are not rusty, be applying for senior roles. Your own will come. Very sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Abayomi. Yes, that I think I agree with what Abayomi said. When we are trying to apply for jobs, most times our profile matters a lot, and that's why we also need to look at profiling. So, because you cannot be applying for a particular role, and the recruiters are seeing so many, like you've worked almost in different places, they can't really place their hands on the experiences you have on that actual role you're applying for. So profiling on CV and on social media platforms that you are in matters a lot when it comes to job application. So I would like to call, I think that answer your questions, Rufus. Yeah?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Jennifer, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I really do not have any question. Okay, maybe my question was going to be to both of them. Are they working in Nigeria or they're working outside of the country? And then secondly, I want to comment on the last question. I know that CVs are not generalized. CVs are supposed to be customized to what you are applying for. So if you have various experiences and they don't really align, your CV you're going to submit for a particular job has to be determined by the job description. So you must tailor your CV to suit the job description. You can't just go carry all experiences you have that are not related to that into the job you're applying for into your application. It's going to make you look very unserious. So for every job you're applying, you have to customize your CV to suit that particular job requirement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer. I think while the participants, Maiwa, hi Maiwa, are you on call? Okay, because she had mentioned on working with an international company. So maybe Abayomi, you can clear that side.
Okay, so the company I'm currently working on, it's not it's an African company, not really Nigeria, but it's an African company. So when I applied for it, in fact, their office address was in Kenya. So, though I now found out that a lot of our team members are based in Abuja. So, but then it's not a Nigerian company like that. So.
Okay, so you've heard that, Jennifer, and Maiwa also mentioned about UK. So I think that's also an international company. Okay, thank you for that. For those asking about last panelist, that's Jimmy. You could actually connect with him on LinkedIn. I'm sure he's happy to connect with you back. So Romade Fola Jimmy, you can check the flyer for today's webinar to get his actual name, the spelling, and you can connect with him there and ask him your questions. If you feel you want to channel your questions to him directly based on his tech skill, yeah, you can connect with him on LinkedIn and he'll be happy to connect with you back. Okay, I think there's one more person up. I would ask that person to. Okay, that's Bewaji. Hi Bewaji. So after this question, we'll be taking Luatoin, the co-host, to help round off the webinar. Hi, Bewaji. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
I want to.
Sorry for the break in transmission again. This is just to bring to your notice. Have you gone on the website to register for the tech conference coming up on the 6th of April? If you haven't done so, go on techpinnaclesevent.co.uk right now and register for it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks. Back to the video.
I want to probably refer to the last question that came talking about. I think that's from Rufus. He said He said something about. I think one of the things he said was not properly addressed. He said he was talking about certification, whether certification is important as a Scrum Master. And what I really think is this: why you come on the on the role, like, okay, for example, before you start the role of the Scrum Master and you are learning, at that point it's advisable not to rush. Most of the things that makes anybody to be employable is how well you can answer the interview questions, is how well you know the job, the role as a Scrum Master. How smart are you? So, and I quickly want to say something that, in as much as you are done with everything, you know it very well, I think it's a plus to have a certification, because when you check out different what do you call it? When you try to different applications from people, you discover that one of the things a lot of them will be asking, they'll be asking you whether you have certification, which I think is a plus. So because it was not mentioned, so that's why I decided to come up with it.
Okay, thank you with that. I think by default, when it comes to Scrum Master, there's always certifications around it. So, Abayomi,
Yes.
I want to clear, because I think here by default there's always certifications.
Yes. There are certifications for Scrum Master. It's at PFM. There is which other one like this? There are two major certifications.
Yeah, no, I
So,
think there are three. There are three stages of certification.
The certifications are important, but that's after you must have familiarized yourself. You must have known what is Scrum Master, because the truth is, you can cram and pass your certification and not really know about the role. I have read about Scrum before I registered for my training at Learn with Pride. But when we started when we started working on projects and we started really doing this stuff, I was like, man, if I had gone for an interview with what I've read, with my knowledge, and probably I probably would have passed the certifications at that point in time, because I had crammed a lot of things that I don't even really understand how they work. I crammed them. To be honest, I crammed definition of done. I've not really seen definition of done in action. So sometimes when interviewers are asking you, they can see through those things. They can see through your cramming stuff. So especially if a Scrum Master is interviewing you, if it's not just maybe you have a Scrum Master on the panel, they can see through. So they can throw you some questions that you will just get lost. So I think getting to know about the role is, and then there are ways to navigate that point of certification, especially if you are an entry level somebody. You can put it there. PSM, ongoing, certification in view. Sure you understand. That's after you are sure that you have familiarized yourself with the role, because actually they want to test you now in interviews. They want to know if you really know what you're saying. So somebody can have the certificate and might be fucking up, might not really do well in interview.
Okay.
So
yeah, thank you.
certification is a plus.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Abayomi. I think I would say this before bringing Oluwatoyin on board. Yes, like Abayomi rightly said, knowing the tax is more important, right? Certification can always come in on the later round. And I think by default, every tech skill have certifications. And if we want to be very sincere with ourselves, but when it comes to Scrum Master, there's this part of you have certifications. And the funny part is, even people that make up the Scrum team, that's the design, the dev, they also most times get certifications relating to Scrum. So, and I know that they won't do so much in the Scrum as much as you, that is actually like the Scrum Master heading the entire team as a Scrum team. So, knowing more about the Scrum and as well having certifications is more important too. So, because I most times certifications will always like make them want to even talk to you first. It's, you know, when you submit your CV, they get to see that okay, you've attained some certain certificate and all of that. So both works hand in hand, like Abayomi said. So certification is also a part of you being a Scrum Master, but not really like the focus when you're just starting out, because you need to know what you want to be satisfied for. That's it. So I think that's we are good, right, Abayomi?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much. And for others that want to ask question, the best is to reach out to Learn with Pride. I think the email has been dropped in the chat. So info1@learnwithpride.co.uk for other questions. And if you want to connect with the panelists, you can follow them up on LinkedIn. I think that's the best professional place. You can easily search for their names and you will get them, connect with them. Abayomi is going to be happy to connect with you and every other panelist, right? So you can ask more questions there, and then you can start your, you know, networking. Like we mentioned, networking is a key factor in getting employed in this digital age. So, you know, it's just like a first step. Maybe you can start with connecting with Abayomi, and you know, the first conversation might just be around thanking him on what he has said and how he has dished information that has helped you during this webinar, you know, before diving into the network and the connections with him. So Oluwatoyin. Hi, Oluwatoyin.
Hi, Lola.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. That was an insightful conversation, and we hope to do more of this at our upcoming Lagos Tech Summits. If you're yet to hear about our Lagos Tech Summit, just go ahead to our website on www.techpinnacleevent.co.uk. The tickets are fast selling out. So go avail yourself to buy the ticket. You could get the ticket for as low as 5,000 naira, but I wouldn't advise that. So go for the bigger ticket, okay? Go for the bigger ticket. You have the opportunity of winning a fully funded scholarship. That means that ticket gives you a chance to win a fully funded scholarship. You have the opportunity to meet with like-minded people. You have the opportunity to meet with industry experts. We have people from PwC. We have people from Wakana. We have a lot of high-profile speakers coming to furnish us powerfully with things that we need to know on how to break the barriers of unemployment in this region, okay? So don't miss this for anything. Like I said again, if you've heard about this summit before and you're probably settling for the 5K ticket, you're doing yourself a big disservice. So just go for the big ticket. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues. It's going to be a very wonderful time at that having that conversation. There's going to be a workshop. Okay, there's going to be a workshop. We're going to be having erudite facilitators, people that are well versed in this tech domain that we've been conversing about. Okay, come furnish us with the tips with the tools, with the methodologies of breaking these barriers. It's high time that Nigeria push the frontiers and stay there, okay, of this education technology. Okay, so I've just dropped the link to the ticket website where you can get to register for the ticket. So please copy it before we jump off on this call. Copy it, and if you have more information, don't hesitate to reach out to us on info1@learnwithpride.co.uk. Okay, I'll be waiting for you in that email. Okay, and if you, just like Lola has said, if you want to connect with our panelists, go look for them on LinkedIn. They are very happy to connect with you. And Folajimi Roman also is happy to meet you, and he sends his apologies for not being able to be on this call. We also have an array of courses on our website. That's www.learnwithpride.co.uk. If you want to continue to enjoy this value that you've just gotten from this call, you can go there and register for a free tester session. Okay, a free tester session is just like an overview of each of the courses that you came here to listen about, as regarding each of our panelists that have been able to exhaust, a little of their experience. But from the tester session, you have the opportunity to having a focus on the specific domain that you're looking to enter into. And it's going to be a wonderful one, and coming on board with Learn with Pride to start your tech career and transitioning journey into the world of technology. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on this call. Out of your busy schedule, you still found a way to come here. Thank you so much, Mayowa, for being on this call. Thank you so much. Even you had another meeting, and you were still able to answer all our questions. You've been able to clear our doubt. Thank you so much. Abayomi, your stories were so motivating. The story you shared about trying to think on your feet about that project is now living rent-free in my head. Thank you so much. The participants are grateful for furnishing us with your experience, with the tips and the tricks of staying on top. Yeah, let me move it to my hosts to round this off.
Hi, everyone. Indeed, we are done with today's webinar. I would want you to send in reactions. I want to see the reactions to how you enjoyed the webinar. Can you please, in few minutes before we round off, send in your reactions if you want more of this, and if you will be buying tickets to come for the event, because we really want you to get your tickets. It's as important as, just imagine if you can enjoy this webinar, how much you would enjoy when you are there physically for that event. So you can send in your reactions in few minutes before we call it a wrap for today. Okay.
Thank you, Olada.
Okay, yes, I can see the energy. I will get my ticket. Okay. Okay.
And your colleagues, and follow us on social media. Follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you have to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Learn with Pride. Just type Learn with Pride. You can follow us on all the social media platforms and connect with them. And one good thing I would tell you is, do the community a favor by not just hoarding this information you've gotten. Reach out to as many techies as you know and share the information with them, because don't just come alone to enjoy all of the power-packed information. Bring somebody along. And that's why you shouldn't get ticket for yourself. Reach your family, your friends, and foes that are in tech. Tell them about this program. And we'll ensure that, I just hope I'm going to see you all, right? Yeah, I can get it. Okay. Yes, you're getting your ticket. Thank you so much.
I want to see all of this. I want to take pictures with you, okay? The media is going to be, we have a lot of a number of TV stations that is going to be there. So you don't want to miss this at all, at all. It's going to
don't miss it for anything.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Yeah, see you there on Ladapo. Yes, I can't wait to meet you. Okay, I think we are done for today's session. Let's call it a wrap.
It was a good conversation. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Thank you so much. And for those that stayed till now, you people are the real ones. Yeah. Thank you so much for staying from 7 till now. I'm sure you enjoyed the event, and I'm sure you would enjoy it more when you come physically. So that's just it.
Yeah.
So for now, bye everyone.
Bye.